Hello, it's me again, Veronica. I am in my studio doing a mystery shoot today. I'm gonna show you guys this because it is so cool. Before I get into this video, like, oh my god. Okay, I cannot believe I built this, honestly. This is for one of the mystery shoots. It is a fur, like, dome situation. And then this is this material that I got from a clothing haul. But look how cool this is. Like, literally, I could just live in here. Like, this is so nice. I don't know if, like, this is what I'll do later. Like, I'm not really sure, like, how I'm going to deal with this thing. Like, deconstructing it is huge. Literally, I had to buy, this is like a wardrobe box. I feel so cozy in here. This was a wardrobe box. I don't know. So I thought that I could just go to Lowe's and get like a cardboard box to put all this fur on, but actually Lowe's, I called them and they informed me that appliances don't come in cardboard boxes anymore. The fuck? So, and I was like, all of them? And they're like, yeah, all the suppliers only wrap them in saran wrap now. So I had to go to a packing store. Who would have known? So this will be the shoot for this, but that is not the point of this video. I need to show you though, because I'm so proud of my little cavern. My cavern of happiness. To do this chit chat video, I'd written it down on my idea list. I have like a running list in my phone about different videos I want to make for YouTube and Patreon and things I want to talk about. But first, let's talk about my drinks. I'm doing this seltzer. I've been obsessed with this brand. This is the raspberry lime. So good. And then I also am obsessed with Monster Energy right now. It's like crazy. They have like little stories on the back of them. I don't know. They're probably not good for you, but those are the two things I'm drinking right now. And I'm going to be sipping on throughout this video. This chat with me is story time. So, I want to talk to you. I failed as a fashion photographer. I also have seasonal allergies. I'm seasonally messed up. So if I'm sniffling, that's why. Yeah, so I'm going to do a little bit of lore about me, a little bit of backstory about my time. So, backstory. I started photography in high school. I did like my senior project on fences. I did a whole portrait series on that. They're horrible, but I did it. I had a Rebel camera. I was obsessed with people, photographing people. I really liked fashion. I really liked like the storytelling aspect of it. So when I went to college, I really wanted to be a fashion photographer. I guess my like fashion photography like career started in Charleston. During college, I went to the Art Institute of Charleston, and Fashion Week in Charleston was like a big deal. My boyfriend at the time, he was kind of an asshole. He was like a punk rock dude, rest his soul. He is not with us anymore. He would tell me, and I thought he was being so pretentious because he was like in his 30s and I was like early 20s, and he was like, these people in Charleston are so behind, like they're so pretentious. And I was like, you're just being mean. But he was right. People in Charleston were assholes, like complete assholes in Charleston Fashion Week, but I just wanted to be included. Like, I was like, this is how I'm going to get in with all these people. Like, this is how I'm gonna make my break. Like, I thought it was the coolest shit. My friend Josh Radcliffe, he actually passed too, but he, from like a freak accident, he was like one of the most talented people I've known. He was invited to Paris Fashion Week actually, which is crazy. Like, I just thought he was the coolest person. He was so down to earth, super queer, super stylish. I took like my first studio nudes ever of him, and like I was like very like into just taking photos I could post. But he was one of the first people I took these really cool edgy nudes of, and I didn't release them until after he had passed, but I wish I had earlier because they're so iconic. But anyways, he curated and styled this fashion video, and we actually won. We won. We used some designs from Teresa Sonoma, and we won Charleston Fashion Week short film competition in 2012. Like, iconic. We went to Fashion Week that year. I saw my first Birkin ever. I remember he freaked out. He like took a picture with it. I was like, what is this? And then I realized like what Hermes bag is. Like, really cool. He was the first person in fashion that like actually didn't treat me like a stupid idiot or like act like I wasn't good enough because I didn't own certain things. So I felt like I could go somewhere with that. And also like that video, even though it is Charleston Fashion Week, that's like a big accomplishment I have in my career. Okay, so that happened. I was like, okay, I can do this. I like won an award. I was like, let's make this happen. In a couple years later, I kept like dabbling. People were still sort of fucking mean to me because I wasn't super, looking back on the pictures, like I'll search some pictures here, like I was pretty thin, but like I was not like model chic. I feel like 2012, 2016, I didn't really know what my style was. I was like kind of trying to explore things, but not really knowing exactly what my style was. So I met this guy, let's call, I don't want to like drop people's names, but I dated this guy for a minute. Let's call him Sid. Dated this guy named Sid, and we started or I guess he had already started this magazine. It was called Dollhouse Magazine. It does not exist anymore. But Sid was really into this magazine, and I kind of like spearheaded it and started being the photographer for it, and it started to blow up. Like, we got really big. We were doing so many shoots. We would do these 12-hour days where we would shoot like 3 different sets. It was stupid, like stressful, stupid, but the content was coming out so amazing. We're doing all this work for no money. Like basically just for funsies, but I was networking a lot. I was meeting a lot of people. I was getting a lot of attention on the internet. This guy Sid, there were some red flags about him. He was like lying about a bunch of like really weird things, like his glasses being real, and like where he lived, like his name even wasn't real. But like I kind of ignored those red flags, and like a year after working together, we started dating, which was not good. We were like power couple of the year though. Like, it was crazy. Like, everyone kind of thought that we were this power couple because we did a lot of stuff together. We did a lot of shibari together. We did a lot of these fashion magazine shoots. If you hear a baby in the background, it is because the studio next to me is connected and they're doing a family shoot over there. So okay, so I started dating Sid. We're doing this magazine. I am starting to figure out that like I'm doing way too much work for this person. Like, I'm doing way too much work for this man. I got like another person on board, my friend Elise. She's amazing, fashion designer, artist. She actually passed. I hate that I'm like mentioning all these people that have passed, but that's just like my story of my life. Unfortunately, I have lost a lot of people, a lot of talented, amazing artists, but a lot of these people unfortunately got mixed up in the wrong things or really depressed. So I met this amazing person, Elise. She was on as our like interviewer, and she did a lot of fashion designs. The end of Dollhouse career, we did a fashion show, and unfortunately at the end of that show, while we were booking the models, I found out that some of the models were underage models. And like, of course you can be underage and model, but some of the costumes or some of the fashion designs were BDSM. And you should not be modeling BDSM if you are under 18. I'm sorry, it's just not appropriate. I would honestly argue at this point, under 25, your brain isn't developed. Like, it's just not appropriate. Especially since this guy said was in his 30s. Like, I was 25 at the time. But this guy was over 30. Like, why was he hiring a 17-year-old? Not good. So I actually quit. But the day of my show that I had organized this fashion show and magazine hard launch, I quit. Like, I straight up had a meltdown and quit because I did not want to be a part of exploitation or people that were being sketchy. Bye. So I broke up with this dude. The magazine fell apart. It is not a thing anymore. At all. So yeah, but what did I learn from that? Contracts. Contracts are important. Knowing who you're working with, not shitting where you eat is really important. So at this point, I am so discouraged. I have, tried to get my foot into the door for fashion photography. I've tried to lift up this guy that I was dating, and I like shouldered all this responsibility from this magazine that like for nothing. Ugh. It sucked. And then randomly, out of the blue, from the internet, I know like they say don't meet people off the internet, but I met this amazing person named Kristen, Kiki, Cats in My Closet, and they hired me to do a photo shoot, and we instantly clicked. At this point, it was kind of like the tail end of my drinking and using, but she was really passionate about starting a magazine, so I helped launch Monachopsis, this amazing magazine. And we actually we had a launch party, had this really cool thing going. We did a couple shoots. Unfortunately, I was not in the place or capacity at that time to financially or emotionally shoulder this project, and our Indiegogo failed. I think honestly a lot of that was because of me. And I really had to have a hard conversation with Kiki about this process and how like I couldn't do it. I was also like in an abusive job position with this photography company. I again was like off my rocker completely. So that ended, and I felt like a complete failure because I felt like I was grabbing at all these straws trying to make this fashion thing work when like people weren't accepting of me because like either I didn't have the money, I wasn't wearing the designer brands, I didn't have the body type, and then also just because I wasn't fully in it. And it was so frustrating. Like, so fast forward, that was in 2017 when Monachopsis ended. Monachopsis is actually still a magazine. Kristen moved to New York, followed her dreams, and she kept the magazine going with 2 other people, which I'm super proud of her, and we still are friends. So I am really grateful for that connection and super proud of her. So fast forward 2018, I get clean off of drugs and alcohol, like super hard. But after that, a lot of things open. That's the middle of 2018, and shifting into the beginning of 2019, I start traveling. I start figuring out who I am, because at this point, like, I've been kind of living for other people, and a lot of the root of my drug and alcohol abuse was not letting myself be seen, not feeling accepted by the general community of people. And that came with a lot of loss and grief, like letting go of like who I thought I was or who I thought I was supposed to be, which a big part of my identity is being a photographer and being like a fashion photographer. I actually went to California for the first time in January of 2019, and I saw the redwoods, and I took this gorgeous nude self-portrait of me under the redwoods, and it was a spiritual experience for me. I knew after taking that photo and printing it that that was something that I was supposed to be doing. A month later, I traveled to Hawaii with my friend Kaylee, who's an artist, and her friend MC. We actually created this image here. I'm gonna censor it, but that image blew up on the internet, and at that moment I knew that I was no longer supposed to be doing fashion photography. I was supposed to be doing empowerment photography and helping people feel empowered inside themselves. And that's it. That's after that I switched paths completely. I started working more with people feeling safe inside their body in a container, and mainly doing nude and boudoir photo shoots. And yeah, so that's why I failed as a fashion photographer, and I no longer do that. Fashion and clothing does really inspire me still. I think the industry in general is based in consumerism and preying upon insecurities, and it's just not a place that I feel like I belong in. I do feel very inspired by textiles and movement and different brands that are a little bit more edgy, but I just don't think I will ever be working in high fashion again. But yeah, as you can see on this set, like a lot of these textiles are inspiring to me, and I have since then started sewing a little bit more and crafting in that area of fashion. But yeah, I hope this video was inspiring, and I hope you learned something about me, and I really hope that you know that as an artist, as a photographer, you can always shift, and it doesn't mean that like you have failed. Like technically, like yes, I failed, but I also really allowed myself to be who I really am, and I hope that you will allow yourself to do the same. So I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.